Hello. Welcome to day 37 of 99 Days of Deeper Embodiment. My name is Jason King. I'm just going to pause for a moment to wait for people to join on this beautiful Christmas Eve. It feels like something wants to be spoken about authenticity today. What does it mean to be authentic? And it's a challenging topic because if I say authentic and you're not already honest with yourself, then the mind covers that up immediately with some idea around it that isn't authentic. For example, if I point to authenticity and say, okay, it is necessary to be authentic in order to embody, then the mind automatically has a thought about that that says, oh, well, I am authentic. I am authentic because of this and this and this. I am authentic because I am I am myself. I am this personality. This is my personality, and this is how I am. But notice that what the mind immediately does is just point you to examples of how you're authentic, point you to things that you believe about yourself as a proof that you are authentic, as a proof that you are being honest and that you are authentic. And so if I believe this, then that isn't authentic. If I immediately go into believing this, then there's a falsity around it because I'm going into the past I'm going into past ideas to show that I am authentic now. You see, this is not authentic. This is the opposite of authentic. This is false. This is not true. Authenticity is always now. It's always in this moment. Truth is always now. It's always in this moment. So from one moment to the next, I can be truthful and then I can be deceptive from one moment to the next. So as soon as a thought covers up what I'm feeling and I don't express from that feeling, I'm not aware of that feeling, then there is deception, and that is not authentic. So as soon as I go into past ideas about who I believe that I am, about who I think that I am based on things that happened in the past, that is not authentic, that is false. Because that is not feeling into what is here now. That is not recognizing what I'm actually feeling now. And so the only thing that is true is what I'm feeling in this moment. And from moment to moment to moment, that changes. And if I'm not consistently expressing from my authenticity, from what is true now, then I'm not meeting what is there. Then thoughts are in the way of my own embodiment. Then ideas are covering up what is there for me to be present with. The gift that is there of my own power to receive and to feel through. Because everything that shows up at a felt sense level is there as a gift. It is your power. It is there to be integrated. Seen. And this is how we go deeper into embodiment, deeper into awareness. So the most efficient way to embody is to always speak from authenticity. Because then one is always present with what is here. To never speak from an idea of the past, only what is here. This is what is here. This is what I'm feeling. This is how it feels. And allowing that to move through. Allowing that to be acknowledged and felt fully and completely. And expressed. And so it feels important to share this message on Christmas Eve when many are with their families. Because to bring awareness around this when you're around your families is to really begin to see the loops, to see the traumatic loops, to see the ideas that you're running. And this isn't about your family members, this is about you. So anytime you start pointing a finger at others, then you're missing what is moving through you. That's called projection. And so anytime we're in a group, then naturally what is moving through us is there to push us into deeper embodiment, to push us to evolve, especially when we're in family groups, because that's when we're feeling the most ancestral trauma. There's the most amount of friction there. And so that friction is good, because when we can get really honest with ourselves and we can be authentic, then we can start to dissolve the emotional ridges. They soften. And then we evolve in the emotional body, which is what evolution for human being is. That's where evolution for human being is. It's always in the emotional body. Now, what happens in my experience when there is someone who is authentic and is in their feeling body and is expressing from their authenticity, and there is a group of people who are not, who are very closed and who cannot feel, and they are stuck in the mind, then oftentimes what comes through the individual who is awake to express is quite strong. The expression can be quite strong. And what it feels like is almost as if there's a boundary being asserted. A boundary that says, no, this is my truth. This is what I'm feeling. What you're telling me is false. What you're telling me is not what I'm feeling. It is misdirecting. It is deceptive. And it is not acknowledging what is here and now. And so it can feel strong, like there's an anger or a rage or a wrath that comes through, that asserts a boundary, says, no, this is my truth. This is what I'm feeling. This is who I am right now. See it, recognize it. And that's okay. If that's the way that it comes through, that is the way that it comes through. And if you were to hold that back, then you were to be not authentic. That's not authentic. That is deceptive. Then you're shrinking. Then you are not actually being of the highest and greatest service to you and others. Then you are not actually being yourself. You are moving into the shadow. You're not actually embodying. You're moving into some idea around it, some idea of how others will perceive you, some idea of not being accepted or loved, some idea of potentially being rejected by family or other. And understandably, these ideas are challenging. It is challenging to be feeling ideas where that say that I could be rejected if I were to express my authentic and honest self. If I were to express what I was really actually feeling and to say what's really here, then everyone will reject me. Where will I go? What will I do? And so the habit on a day like Christmas is to go with the flow, in the sense that the flow means don't rock the boat. The flow means act the way that everyone wants you to act. The flow means fit into the mold of the role that everyone is asking you to play, which is false. That isn't embodiment. That's the same loop that you've been living, which is false. It is unconscious. It is not true. There is no embodiment there happening. There's no meeting the limiting ideas and beliefs and integrating them. There's no expansion. There's just more ideas and more identification with ideas. More and more falsity. Because if you're ignoring what you're actually feeling and pretending that you're not, that's false. That's the definition of false. That is lying. That is lying to you. That is lying to everyone else. And everyone actually wants you to lie, you see, because they're all lying too. So if you start to tell the truth, then they have to feel that, and they don't want to. Because as soon as you start to tell the truth, then you're reflecting what it is that they don't want to touch. But that is what is in the highest and greatest good of everyone. Because then we actually begin to evolve. Then we actually begin to see these looping behaviors and looping traumas. Then we actually begin to recognize where we're at. And we start to integrate the shadow. So it may look as if you're being the rebel. It may look that way. And that's okay. That's the way that it needs to unwind. Allow it to be. You see. Because your only responsibility is to feel the charge within you. That is where you show up. And if you don't feel the charge within you, then you're the one that's stuck with it. It's no one else's, it's yours. So then you have to feel through that. So the easiest way is when it arises, to feel it immediately, to move with it, express whatever needs to be expressed in the moment, and feel it all the way through. And if the expression that wants to come through with that charge happens to be harsh, that's the way that it wants to come through. It needs to be felt, it needs to be acknowledged. And it's for the benefit of everyone. It's for the benefit of the whole. And so your other selves that are there with you, they get the benefit of feeling those charges that come up when you reflect what's there as you are feeling it with them. And this can be quite challenging because it looks like the opposite of peace. It looks like conflict. To be moving authentically with what you're feeling, it looks like conflict when there's a lot of charges in the field, when there's a lot of emotional charges to be felt. But if you go through another opportunity, another Christmas, and you never take the opportunity to feel what's there and to be authentic and to express from your truth, if you just numb yourself, possibly by drinking or distraction, pretending that everything is okay when it's really not, when what you're really feeling is the opposite of okay, then when you walk away from that opportunity, when you walk away from Christmas dinner, you're the one holding the bag still. You are the one still deceiving yourself. You are the one still pretending. And then when you go home to sleep at night and you feel as if you want to kill yourself because you're feeling all of that heaviness, all of those emotional charges, and you don't know how to work them off, you don't know how to feel through them because it's too intense, it's too overwhelming, then you can remember this message and you can recall, oh my goodness, wow, I just spent an entire day of my life entertaining family without being honest with myself. And now this is what I'm feeling. And so let me pop a Valium so that I don't have to feel anymore. You see? So that is extremely disembodied. There is a lot of self deception there. There is a lot of not being present with what is here. There is a tremendous amount of avoidance of feeling. That is what it means to be asleep, what it means to be unconscious, numb, disembodied. So, really take the opportunity this Christmas season to feel into what authentic is and how authenticity relates to your own embodiment, which is your own truthfulness. Because if it's embodiment, it's always true. If you're embodying the self, you're embodying truth. You're embodying what is. It's always true, you see. It's always what's being felt here and now, because that's where you meet the limiting ideas and beliefs. That's where they show up. So have the heart to heart conversations that need to be had. Speak from the heart, from what's being felt. Take the opportunity, even if what needs to be spoken is angry. Because once you burn through the anger, what's underneath the anger? Grief, sadness. There's a whole well of it. And then you can start to tap into that and feel that. And then as you begin to feel that, then your emotional body begins to thaw and your heart begins to open. And you begin to feel others as yourself, which is the true meaning of Christmas. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I wish you a very authentic, truthful, and transformative holiday. May you continue to deeper embody the truth of you, who you truly are, in every moment. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.